Welcome, everybody, to the Trisbrina Show. Here we go.
We have a really wonderful show planned for you tonight. Last week, if you tuned into the episode called Do This Before You Meditate, we taught 4 simple spinal stretches to awaken your spine and feel great. And these were all moves that were on the frontal and back plane of motion. We got so many emails and so many responses saying, that was great. Can we have a few more?
Thank you.
Yes, we love hearing from you. So we thought what we would do today is sort of add on to that. And it's not long, don't worry, it's like 2 minutes. But what about the other ways that the spine moves? The side to side, more of the horizontal, and with the rotating. Because I was just telling Tristan, I said, who sneaks into my bed at night and tightens all my screws and all my joints so that when I wake up in the morning, I feel so stiff? And there was at least a decade that I would get up and first thing in the morning, I would have an Advil and a cup of coffee.
Right.
And then it became like, I just can't tolerate that anymore. And I found that if I could get my spine moving just a little bit, it felt like the inflammation sort of melted out of my whole body. And my legs that felt like somebody crammed them up into my torso at night just seemed to relax and come out. So it is our hope, and I really think it's more than a hope if you try it, that with these movements we show you today, with the ones we showed you last week, you're going to be feeling really great in the morning in just 5 minutes.
Now, I'd like to preface that we're not doctors, nor are we physical therapists, but we are lovers of movement. Mm-hmm. And we like the type of movement that feels very meditative. And we love energy and life force. And we talk a lot about that around here at Satori Method, because Satori is a word for awakening. And so we're talking about awakening the life force through the body, and also up through the spine, because the spine is the information highway. It's the energy highway to help evolve our emotions and our consciousness. So you get a twofer around here. You get, feeling really flexible, mobile, and happy in your body. We think we can get you to a state we call the bliss body through the trainings, the energy arts, Qigong, movement, breath work. Mm-hmm. And the twofer is you're happier. You're more connected to the flow of the life force energy, and your spine is the transmission of that highway. So
I think one of the ways that, one of the ways that we approach movement is including the breath work and from a place of caretaking the body. We do it with love. And some people have been turned off against movement because it's done like harsh and come on and push and force. And especially first thing in the morning, that is not what you want. You want to sort of gently encourage that blood flow, encourage the oxygen, encourage the body to, hey, hello, it's a new day. Like the sun, right? The sun rises so beautifully. It's not pitch dark and then noon, bright light. There's a rise to it, and that's the way we start to wake up the spine.
A rise and a rhythm. So these movements, like Sabrina said, are very easy to do. What we like to do is break them down for you. We'll show you piece by piece how you do them, and then always work at your level, right? Like never ever hurt yourself. Don't push too much. When you're working with your spine, some of us, myself included, over the years, have felt that the spine was fragile. I have to be careful. I don't want to throw my back out. And it turns out that your spine is incredibly strong and capable of doing a lot of things, but you have to retrain it sometimes, because part of that is lack of movement. Maybe there have been some old injuries that need to be gently nurtured. So please nurture your spine with these movements. Mm-hmm. If any of them are too much today, we have many other things that we offer, and you might be more in alignment with slow, gentle, very subtle movements. And that's how I had to start learning Qigong, because of a back injury. And there's a lot of things I couldn't do, but we can do all of them now. You can regenerate and rebuild the body. It wants to be healthy and strong. Heading into my 60s, we're in that zone where it's so important to take care of our health. I think it was Emerson who said, health is your greatest wealth. And so let's take care of our bodies together.
And when we say that we're working the spine, that could be misunderstood, because we're actually working the entire core. Right? There's so many muscles in the front of your body and the side of your body, and oftentimes those are too relaxed they're sleepy. So we're waking them up so that they can support the structure, so that you can do whatever you want to do throughout the day. So I'm going to do the movements standing, but I'm going to have like a stool to show you how you could do it if you need a little bit of support.
All right, let's go ahead and turn on wireless microphones. We should be good to go. All right. So we're going to break these down for you. Let's pop the light a little bit more. Just help you see all the things.
We're going to go through 3 movements, and by the end of the episode, if you do each of the movements 30 seconds, and then you do a second set, that's all you need to do. You have your 3 minutes.
3 movements in 3 minutes. So first, let's do a mini private lesson. The first movement that we're going to do, so like you said, there are 3. This one is called ringing the temple bell. Think of your pelvis as like a flower pot, and your spine the stalk of, like, let's say, I don't know, a sunflower, and you're beaming, and you're just rotating around the sunflower stalk like this. And I'll show you what the hands are doing in a moment, but can you see a little bit of rising and rooting? So I'm gently pushing the knees out as we drop, and I'm rotating from the waist up, okay? So we're not turning our legs and our hips. That's the pot, and the pot stays mostly still. It just goes up and down. Now we're tapping with an open palm or a lightly clenched fist, lightly on the front of the body.
Can you step back just a hair
just
so they can see your
around
feet?
the tummy, right? Just lightly. As your body gets more warmed up, you can spin even more and a little faster, and you can lightly tap against the tissue. It's known as Pai Sha, and it's waking up the areas of the spine and the psoas muscles. So here's what's happening in the back. Your palm, or the back of your hand, or your lightly clenched fist, is tapping on this tissue just outside of the spine, so you're not striking the spine, and that's known as your quadratus lumborum. So as you rotate again, you're striking just past the spine, and then you're dropping in. Now what's the breathing doing? On the compression, on the down, you breathe out. In and out through the nose and then the mouth. Got it? Now I'll give you one little extra bonus. Some people like to lightly tap, one up high and one down low. Okay?
I like to remind my brain that it's to bring my shoulder around, so that I don't just isolate the arms, but that I'm letting the shoulders twist.
Does that make sense? So you probably noticed I wasn't spinning as much as Sabrina. So for those of you who are just gently warming up this area, spin a little less, and then twist more as you warm up and as the spine feels more flexible. Okay, so that's exercise number 1, ringing the temple bell. The next one, do you see the position of the arms, how it shapes like a center of a yin and yang? So this is yin and yang arms. The one on the top is stretching up over, so you're feeling a gentle pull through the waist, up over the bicep towards your ear, and hand over your head. So it's up and around. It's not compressed like that. There's a lengthening, and later there's a leaning. Okay, so we're going to pull this tissue gently and stretch the fascia and the muscles along the waist. Meanwhile, this hand is anchoring down and through, and then they rotate the other way, just like that. And you can see Sabrina's adding the lean, and you'll work your way up to that, and you can drop again on this one. You can stabilize holding a chair. Yin and yang arms. Once you've got the movement in the position, you can increase the speed, but you don't have to. Again, if this is early in the morning, which is a great time for this, start slow and gentle.
So the ringing the temple bells went in the rotational plane, and you can see that this is more in the horizontal plane.
Awesome. Now this next one is a little bit more advanced. You can try it. Do it slowly and mindfully. So you're going to be in what's called a soft horse stance. So your legs are wider than your shoulders, and you can just shimmy your feet to adjust it as needed. And then you sit down, and we could just probably warm up our quadriceps with our hands for a moment, or just by moving up and down, just to get the legs ready to support your whole body, because you're going to be sitting in this position for a moment here. Then take your palms and wrap them gently inwards, fingertips around the top of your quadricep muscle and above your knees. Now, one arm is going to lightly push against the top inner part of your thigh as your head is going to swoop down and gently look behind. Now, look at the positioning of your lower back. If you've ever learned in yoga the cat and the cow position, you're mainly going to be in the cow. It's a rounded, stabilized lower spine. Now, Sabrina's starting to do it. We call this dragon scoops. Some people say dragon swoops. And you're swooping down slowly, and gently at the end of the motion, you're going to look behind. So this is a wonderful stretch all the way through the mid-thoracic spine. If you could, yes, you can maybe turn this way and show everyone your butt. So right here is the thoracic spine, and then we have the cervical spine. So as Sabrina starts to do it, notice this portion here starts to wrap and gently wraps around up through the neck as she looks through. This is an incredible upper body mid-back stretch. You're going to feel it through your ribs, your cervical spine, and your thoracic. So let's do it slowly.
Feels good for the neck.
We'll start from the center of the body, hands stabilized. We just arch our spine and look down and behind. You don't have to do a big swoop to start. Now swoop down. That's going to exercise and open up your lower lumbar. Go into the lower lumbar, use your legs to support you, stabilize with your hands, and use them to help you rotate. As you get more flexible, you can increase the speed, but you do not need to. Scooping and looking behind.
You could even do it way up here.
You absolutely can. It's nice to introduce new movements to the body because we don't get a lot of this upper body rotation. A lot of times what people will do to look behind because they're losing the flexibility of their spine is they move their feet and turn. So you're challenging your body to introduce these more youthful movements again. So give it time. Fascia is connective tissue that lays below the skin that wraps around and through all of your muscles. In fact, it's around your tendons, your ligaments, even your bones. This tissue, connective tissue, is meant to be more supple. It can move and glide. So please hydrate before you do these moves. And the water, the hydration, will get into that fascia tissue. It'll make it more wet, gelatinous. It'll help to break up adhesions that are causing the stiffness and the tightness. So with the movements, and we'll go over the breath again, the breath and the water, and a little bit of consistency in the morning, you're going to open up your vitality of mobility.
Because remember, last week we worked more the wave, the butterfly.
We'll post a link in the description below for that last video.
So
breathing.
We've already been moving this direction. Now we're going to move to the other two planes of motion. Do you want me to set the timer?
Just a quick review on breathing.
Okay.
Out through the mouth, in through the nose. Out on the compression. Compression means the squat down. Here, breathing out, breathing in, nose, mouth. All right, and then here, breathing in and breathing out on the rotation. Breathing in. And just hold a little bit at the end of that exhale, breathing in. Awesome. Okay, here we go. Timer coming on.
So I'll set the timer and we'll take you through one set, and that'll be 1.5 minutes. And in the mornings, you could do it twice to get 3 minutes.
All right.
Are you ready?
Ready, ready.
I'll tell you when to switch.
We'll swing to this direction on the video to begin.
Okay, I'll follow your tempo. And begin.
And begin. Here we go. Add more rotation as you're ready. This breathing is really good to help get oxygen into your tissues.
You're over halfway there.
Rotate. You can also try less bounce and more rotation. Relax your arms.
4, 3, 2, 1.
And come up and drop down. Breathing in slow, your flow. Push your knees apart. Work into your beautiful, stable horse stances. Add the leaning. Stabilize through your legs. Find the joy in movement.
4,
Feeling
3,
so supple and flexible.
2, 1.
Down to the legs. We'll go this way to start. Slow your flow. Here we go. And anytime you want to slow down even more and hold a position longer, you absolutely can. Giving love to your body, mobilizing that beautiful information highway of the spine. Can slow it down a little here, hold a little longer. Hold a little longer. How we doing on the clock? Probably got time for one more.
Oh, we're done.
We are done. It felt like we were done. Roll up slowly. Scoot your feet in. Take a big breath in. Center and sink your chi through your body. And then you just want to do a check-in. This is a standing meditation position, palms facing the earth. Relax your tailbone, bounce and shake a little. After you've done movements that are activating a lot of tissue, maybe in a new way, the bouncing and shaking helps to free up any micro tension in the tissue. And it's just resetting and recalibrating your physical body and also the energy body. Then we bring our feet together and we close our session. 3 moves, 3 minutes to a youthful, flexible spine. Yay!
Yeah, so you could just do that routine twice. You know, I sometimes do these movements, oftentimes. I just use the bathroom sink while the water's getting warm to wash my face, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just watch your elbows and watch your knees. You don't hit anything. But just being gentle. And I love hearing the sounds of my body coming into alignment. You know,
Little adjustments.
Yeah, little adjustments. I got 2 today, doing just now. As I turn to look behind, right, so right in the mid-upper back, like ladies, like above the bra strap, where it gets really tight, because I really stretched it. It went pop, pop.
Yeah, and you'll also sometimes feel the fascia tissue. It can get sticky due to inflammation and create adhesions. And so sort of the tissues that lay flat like that will turn and get more in this patch-like fashion. And when you're gently stretching, they'll realign. And sometimes you'll hear a little and the tissue like resets itself, or it goes back to its original length. And when that happens, it creates more space for the muscles and the joints because they're not tight and compressing joints.
Yep.
So it opens your spine. You might even be a little bit taller. Awesome.
Awesome. So if you loved this video and you're watching on YouTube, you can subscribe to the channel so that you get notified when we go live. But if you're watching on our website and just want to reply to this email, let us know, how did you feel? What are you loving? What would you even like to hear more of? We would love to hear from you. And I just think it would be super awesome if you could do these 3 stretches and the 4 that we showed on last week's episode, and then find out which ones feel the best for you and vary them on different days, or just do all of them.
And I just want to land with a little story, which is, we have a saying around here that we love. It's for your identity of how you see your life, which is moving from aging to saging. And what we mean by that is, as the body gets older, you can feel like you're aging. I felt really old even in my 30s because of so many injuries to my body. So I was a hardcore martial artist. Sabrina had lots of pulls and strains and tears from being a dancer for decades. So we had to learn methods to heal our body. And so we went to the mountain and we studied life force arts, energy healing arts, stretching arts, physical therapy arts, body work, massage, you name it, we tried it. And what we found is you've got 2 bodies. You have your physical tissue and your fascia and muscles that we're talking about today, but you also have an energy body. The movements that we did today help facilitate the feeling of opening up the energy pathways inside the body. And not only in the waist, but also through the spine and the limbs, the arms, the legs. there's this whole energy ecosystem inside. So we draw from these ancient arts a lot of times through like Qigong, for example, or Tai Chi, different ancient martial arts systems. And we use these physical movements, but the goal where we're going, in addition to feeling more limber and mobile, is to feel the life force. And so that aging to saging concept is that you're remolding and rebuilding the beautiful body. We call it a body temple. But in the process, your consciousness is awakening. And the saging part is like taking all the wonderful lessons of life and converting them into ways that we could pay forward the things that we've learned. And that's what we mean by the sage, wise counsel, somebody who is like a wisdom holder. And a lot of the people that are drawn to Satori method are looking for ways to not only heal their body, but feel like their life has value and meaning and we can contribute more. So when the body is healthy, you actually feel like you're coming back to life and you feel like your purpose up levels and you feel that sage consciousness and you want to give more and do more and share more. So if that lights you up, if this conversation is resonating with you, like Sabrina said, follow, like, and, make sure that you're part of this conversation because we got lots of things to share with you.
Because many times we find with our students that their aches, their pain, their stiffness, if it's been around, if it's been chronic, if it's been more than 3 or 6 months, it's probably energy is not flowing to that directions because the nature of the body is to heal. Right? This is just such a miraculous body, but it needs energy to heal. And so through the energy movements, we're able to press all the magic buttons so that the body can heal. We press the magic buttons with the movements that we do, with the breath that we do, and also with our mental intention. Why are we doing what we're doing?
That's right. So it's always so much more than just movement. It's a movement of your life force, a movement of your chi. Who moved your chi?
You did.
You moved your chi. It's like, remember WD-40 for tightness?
Why are you spraying it under your arms? Don't you remember WD-40 that you put under your arms?
It's WChi-40.
Yeah, it's the Tin Man.
I was making a funny.
Tin Man, he says, oral can.
Oral can.
Oral can. So when you wake up in the morning, if you feel like oral can, now you know some moves to do.
Yeah, seriously. And as we land this, because so many of the amazing people in our community, you guys, you have been the proof that you can reverse those aging symptoms. You can turn back the clock. We can prevent premature aging. We live in a very crazy world with a lot of stress around us and in us. And we need these tools to combat that. And the ancient tools are so powerful. And so stay tuned. We've got more for you. All right. On that note, you said something funny the other day, something about...
I say something funny every day.
But it was about the ancient art, like that it was, I don't remember what it was, but it was funny.
Stick around, I'll say more funny stuff.
Funny stuff coming your way. All right. Much love. See you soon.